Good morning, Shweta. Today we will be seeing the calculation of the index numbers. Okay, so what is this index number? Index number is the indicator, okay, which reflects the changes like our BSE Sensex index, BSE index, Nifty index. All these indexes are nothing but they will indicate the changes in that day or in a time or in a year. Okay, it can be in commodities, production, sales, cost of living, etc. Okay, so index numbers are statistical methods which are used to measure the relative change, that is from the base quantity or from the base price, how much there is a change of the variable. Okay, like examples I have given here are the price of the particular commodity. For example, take the price of gold, silver and all. 10 years back, what was the rate of the gold? What is the rate of the gold now? Similarly, the volume of the exports and imports, agricultural and industrial production, and the national income of a country or the GDP across the quarters, all these come under examples for index numbers. Okay, now we are going to classify the index numbers into three. So what are the three? It is the price index number, quantity index number and the cost of living index number. Okay, so uses of the index number, it is the important tool for our decision and management policies, and it helps in studying the trends and the tendencies of the people. Then it determines the inflation and the deflation in an economy. How are we going to construct this index number, or how are we going to find the index number? We have two methods. One is the unweighted index number, other one is the weighted index number. But we will be bothered mostly about the weighted index number. Okay, so in this weighted index number, we are going to calculate the price index, that is price index 0, 1. What is 0? 0 is the base price and 1 will be the current year price. So the current year price is mentioned as P suffix 1 and P suffix 0 will be called as the base year price. Similarly, for the quantity, if it is Q0, it is called base year quantity. If it is Q1, it is called the current year quantity. So our the price index is calculated by this method, that is P1 divided by P0, and there is a weight attached to it, so that is sigma P1W divided by sigma P0W into 100. Okay, so we will be having three indexes which are named after the people who discovered these indices, like last payers. Last payers, we write P01 and on the top we put L. This L is for last payers in price index number. So that is sigma P1 Q0 by P0 Q0 into 100. Okay, and the PASH's price index number is P01 to the power, that is on the top we write P to indicate that it is PASH's price index number. So that is sigma P1 Q1 divided by P0 Q1 into 100. Okay, one thing you can remember here is the denominator is same. P0 Q0 here is the same. Here the numerator is the same. P1 Q1 is the same. Then we come across this Fisher's price index number. This is a very important one. It is nothing but the square root of the product of the two other indices, that is last payers and the PASH's. Okay, so you can see this is P1 Q0. P1 Q0, and when you see this denominator, this is P0 Q1. So this is the alternate here. Similarly, denominator here you have P0 Q0 and in the numerator you have P1 Q1. So you can remember like this. Okay, now to get the exact Fisher's price, one should use a formula using this one. Okay, in the last payer's price index number, the quantity is used as the weight, that is the quantity of the base year is used as the weight, whereas in the PASH's price index number, the quantity of the current year. So that is why this the current year is coming Q1. So that is the current year is used as the weight. Okay, whereas in the PASH's price index number Q0, that was the base years was used as the price index, where it is for in the patches it is the current year. Okay, that is the difference. Now in this example we can see how they have calculated the indexes, all the three indexes. They have given the commodities, rice, wheat, rent, fuel and the miscellaneous. They have given the two prices and the two quantities. So the previous year, the 2000 will be taken as P0, 2010 should be taken as P1. Quantity for 2000 it is taken as Q0 and for the 2010 it is taken as Q1. You have to find all the four columns. P0 Q0, P0 Q1, P1 Q0, P1 Q1. Okay, so after this multiply it accordingly. P0 into Q0. So this into this. 38 into 6 should be there as 228. 12 into 7, 84. 10 into 10, 100. 25 into 12, 300. 30 into 8, 240. You have to be very, very careful when you are filling these columns. Okay, you should not get confused. Then it is P0 into Q1. Q1 is where? This place. So 38 into 7, that is 266. Then 12 into 10, 120. Keep your hands like this. Then you will know which column you are multiplying. Okay, because most of the time you will be using the calculator to multiply. So don't miss out the values. There is 2 marks for finding out these 4 values or filling this whole table. So don't lose unnecessary marks in this. Okay, only when the table is correct you can go ahead with the formulas and the substitution. There is no mark for substitution or finding the answer if the table itself is wrong. So filling the table is very, very, very important. You have to be very careful. Check it twice, thrice before going to the substitution. Okay, then 25 into 16, that is 400. Then 30 into 10, that is 300. So I finished my 2 columns. Now coming to P1 Q0. My P1 is here and my Q0 is nearby. So 35 into 6, 210. 18 into 7, 126. 15 into 10, 150. 30 into 12, 360. 33 into 8, 264. Now coming with P1 into Q0. 35 into 7, 245. 18 into 10, 180. 15 into 15, 225. 30 into 16, 480. 33 into 10, 300. Then you have to find the individual summation of all these 4 columns. First one is the last payer's price index number. Last payers means P1 Q0. So the third column divided by the first column. So 110 divided by 952 into 100. Then the next one is the purchase price index number. That will be the fourth column divided by the second one. Now for the Fishers you have to take the square root of all these 4. Okay, and the product. Then into this 100 is outside the square root. So while writing the formula itself you should be very careful. This 100 is outside. Then finally you have to write the answer as this last payer's price index is increased by 16.60%. That is base is 100 but we are getting 116.60. So that is 16.60% increased. Similarly our purchase price index number is 118.12. So that is also increased by 18.12%. Similarly for Fishers it is 117.36. That is also increased by 17.36%. Okay. The second example is also similar on this. This example was asked for your exam, the public exam. Okay. Then coming to the test of the adequacy of the how are we going to test? We are going to test with the 2 tests, time reversal test and the factor reversal test. Time reversal test is P01 into P10. Okay, so P01 means your Fisher index P01 is, you know that is P1 Q0 by P0 Q0 into P1 Q1 divided by P0 Q1. This into P10. 10 means you had simply replace 1 with 0 and 0 with 1 in this formula. So you will get these 2. When you multiply you will be getting it as 1. So that is the time reversal test. Factor reversal test means P01 into Q01. So what is P01? P01 we know. What is that? P1 Q0 divided by P0 Q0 into P1 Q1 divided by P0 Q1. So we know P01. You should know what is Q1, Q01. That is, you interchange P and Q. Instead of P, you put Q. Instead of Q, put P1. So you will get these two formulas. Finally, when you take and multiply, you will be getting finally sigma P1 Q1 divided by P0 Q0. So this will be your factor reversal test. You have to prove it. Okay. So how is that we are going to prove? We will be proving, like we will be finding all these 4 columns again. First is find the Fisher index number. So first one we will find it out. Then and show that it satisfies both the time reversal test and the factor reversal test. So first you should go for the time reversal test. P01 into P10. Okay, P01 we know, first write the same formula and into P10 replace what? This suffixes 1 with 0 and 0 with 1. Then you can find the answer. That will be equal to 1. So this is proved. Factor reversal test we have to prove with the left hand side is equal to this right hand side. Okay, so left hand side you first calculate. You can first calculate using the formula. That is nothing but we are going to write P01 as such from the Fisher index formula. Then replace P with Q, Q with P. So that will give you that formula. So we will get this answer as 742 divided by 442 from the left hand side. Similarly, when you check the right hand side, that is sigma P1 Q1 divided by sigma P0 Q0, that is also going to be the same. Okay. So this is what we have to prove. You need not find the value and all, you can just prove it. That is enough. Okay. Now the next example is also similar to that. The next concept here we are going to find out is we are going to be bothered about the construction of cost of living index number. Okay, this is another method which we are going to be bothered because this is we are going to use for our day-to-day life in calculating the budgets or forecasting the our expenses, everything. Okay, so we are going to use this particular cost of living index number for the wages, calculation of the wages and for calculation of the dearness allowance, etc. or the bonus. We are going to use 2 methods. One is the aggregate expenditure method and the family budget method. So what is this formula for the calculating the living index? P1 Q0 divided by P0 Q0. That is the same which we use for our first index. What was that? It was our last payers index. Yes, we are going to use the same last payers index formula for the cost of index formula. Okay. Then when we are going to calculate the family budget formula is, it is sigma PV by V. What is P? P is P1 divided by P0. Okay. And V is equal to P0 Q0. We find these two, find out sigma PV by V. So now we have to be very careful when to use what. When price and quantity are given, we go for aggregate expenditure method. Whereas when the price and the weights are given, we go for the family budget method. So in the first example 9.15, we have discussed about the quantity and the price. So that means price and the quantity only is given. So we go for our which method? We go for the cost of living index method. It is the family budget. No, it is not the family budget. We went for the aggregate expenditure method only because both price and quantity are given. So we go for the aggregate expenditure method, I found out. Whereas in the next one, they have given only the price and the quantity, the number of units they have given. So we can go with aggregate expenditure method here also. Whereas in the third example, they have given the base year quantities alone. They have not given the price. No, they have given the price also. So they have gone here also with the aggregate expenditure method only. This is the last one. This is the weights they have given. See, the last one, they are dealing with the family budget method where they have given the weights. So we got the weights. If we know the weights, what we can do, P0 P1, we know W, or we have to find out weights as V. So capital P is P1 by P0 into 100. So calculate that capital P and multiply with this PV. So you will get sigma PV by sigma V. You can find out the cost of living index with the family budget method. Okay. So with this input, we will go into the exercise. As usual, all the theoretical questions I will mark it in another video. We will go with the question number 14. Okay. Question number 14 asking us to calculate the suitable method, the index for the following data. They have given 3 commodities, price quantity. So we have to find out all the 3 indexes. Calculate P0. They have given P0, Q0, P1, Q1. Okay. So put it like that, then only it will be easy. So P0, Q0. First find out all these 4 combinations. You should be very careful. You should start with P0. Again, you should start with Q0, Q1. Then with P1, change Q0, Q1. Then only you can understand. So first index price, first price index, that is last pairs, P01 to the L. Then it is P1 by P0 into Q0 divided by Q0, the same thing. So that is this 1532 divided by 1058 into 100. Then Pash's price index, calculate the 4th column divided by the 2nd column into 100. Then the Fisher's price index, the square root of these two, you will get this. Finally, you have to write by whatever percentage they have increased or decreased accordingly. Then coming to the question number 15. They are asking us to calculate last pairs and only Pash's. Okay, so you can calculate that. How we are calculating for 15? Again, commodity P0, Q0, P1, Q1, P0, Q0, then P0, Q1, P1, Q0, P1, Q1. So you can find out their values, find their summation. So last pairs on Pash's only they have asked. So last pairs, it will be the 3rd divided by the first one, 4th divided by the second one. You can remember that and you can accordingly put the title. Then you should write the conclusion, whether it is increased by how many percentage. Then 16, you have to calculate for all the 3 indices. So I have calculated it. Okay, I have calculated all the 3. Okay, so last pairs, Pash's and the Fisher's. So it is 106.67 percentage. This is 106.89 percent and 106.78 percent. One more thing, if you note, all these values will be on the same range. கிட்டத்தட்ட எல்லாம் ஒரே ரேஞ்சாக தான் இருக்கும், ரொம்ப டிஃப்ரென்சஸ் பெருசாக இருக்காது. அது வச்சு நீங்கள் கண்டுபிடிச்சிக்கலாம் where we have gone wrong. Okay, then in the 17th one, you have to construct the index for Fisher and then you have to satisfy the factor reversal test and the time reversal test. So first you calculate the Fisher's index using the formula. Fine. Factors reversal test, it is P01 into Q01. P01, we know the factors, Fisher's index itself. Then coming to Q01. Q01 means I am going to replace P with Q, Q with P. So accordingly you write the formula, find the answer. Then you have to prove that is equal to sigma P1 Q1 divided by sigma P0 Q0. Then you can show that factor reversal test is done. Coming to time reversal test, P01 into P10 should be equal to 1. So P01 already we have calculated from the Fisher's index. So for P10, interchange the suffixes only or the supplements only. That is P0, you can change that as P1. That is what we have done here. Only one formula, if you remember, that is enough. That is the Fisher index formula. மட்டும் நீங்க ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கிட்டா போதும். Others வந்து நீங்க அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி நீங்க என்ன பண்ணிக்கலாம், மாத்தி நீங்க இண்டெக்ஸ் போட்டு எழுதிக்கலாம். ஓகேவா? That should be equal to root 1, which is equal to 1. So this is also proved. Okay, this is a very, very important problem. This you should be knowing. This sum also was asked in the public question paper. This sum was asked. Okay. Now we are going to 18th sum. 18th sum also they are giving us to find out the time reversal test and the factor reversal test. So first is Fisher's index. You find out the Fisher index. Okay. And then we have to see the compute the price index number and you should say how much it has been increased or decreased. See the value, it is 83.60. That means it is decreased from 100. So 100 minus 83.60, you will get 16.40. Okay, and for the 19th problem, you have to calculate Fisher's index, then you have to check for the time reversal test only. You have to check only that. So calculate the Fisher's index, then only test for the time reversal test. Okay, then coming to the 20th problem, that is the commodity. That is in the 20th problem, they have asked us to find the cost of living index. Okay, here they have given the weights. Directly they have given the weights. So what can we do? We have to calculate the PV. Okay, we have to calculate the PV. Here they have given the index number directly, that is the capital P is given directly, that is they have not given the prices. Directly they have given capital P. So you can directly multiply this with this, capital P with capital V. Okay, so you multiply and you can find out the answer. So sigma PV by sigma V, you will find one value. So this question can be asked as a 3-mark question. Okay, this is simple 3-mark question. Coming to the 21st question, that also it is for cost of living index number, but it is based on the family budget method. So family budget method, they have given the prices here and the weights. So in this method only we will be very careful, P0, P1. So capital P is calculated by P1 by P0 into 100. So you find the P, then you multiply P and V, that will be here in this column. Then sigma PV. So sigma PV by sigma V, that will be the cost of the living index by the family budget method. In the 23rd sum, they are asked about the aggregate expenditure method. Aggregate expenditure method, the same thing, P0 Q0 and P1 Q0. P0 Q0 and P1 Q1. So when you find out that, you can go ahead with the formula P1 Q0 divided by P0 Q0, and then you will find the answer. When you can say it is increased by 32.1%. Okay, so out of this, calculating the cost of living index, we have two types. One is the family budget method and one is the aggregate method. Aggregate method, they have discussed 3 aggregate methods in the examples and one is in the exercise. 3 aggregate expenditure methods in the examples. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this one become the 4th one. So 4 aggregate expenditure method where price and quantity are given. Whereas when it comes to the family budget method, we will be having only 1 in the example, which is the last example 9.18, and then we have the family aggregate the budget method in 2 in the exercise. So almost only 7 sums with these 2 types. So work it out and see both the methods in a rough notebook and show it as a homework. These 2 methods will be asked. Mostly this time they will be asked. Last time they asked about the indexes. So this time there is a high chances of asking on these 2 methods. Okay. So work it out as a homework. These 3 sums and that 4 examples. So 7 problems. Work it out as a homework because you will be having 3 days holidays. So work it out and send it across to me as a in the WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you, Shweta.